Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday. How we doing tonight? Hey, Kitty, how are you tonight? Happy Tuesday to you. Welcome to the program. Glad to have you here live on this Tuesday night. Does anybody else? Hey, Adele and Dazzle are here. Great to have you here. Anybody else feel like it's not Tuesday? I mean, I originally wanted to type it's Wednesday. Hey, Ann, how are you? Great to have you here live tonight. How was things? How is things in Virginia? Great to have you here tonight. Great to have everybody here. What are you all grateful for this Tuesday night? We got a reprieve from the weather. You know, the weather, the ice came through. We went with a slightly delayed opening, delayed an hour, because everybody was freaking out because their sidewalks and stuff right in front of their house were all ice. But all the roads were good. Much better day as the sun came out. That's what I'm hoping for tomorrow. You know, we sold like squat for clothes today, which you would have thought people would have come out for boots and winter coats again today, and sold a lot of furniture. But, ooh, minus 15. I do not like that, Claire. That's yucky. Grateful for a decent sales day. I like that, Rose. I like that. I do like that. Minus 15 is not fun, Claire. I'm with you there. And I'm glad, and it's certainly not fun to shovel in it on top of it. But that's what a lot of you guys have had, and I know we're supposed to get another one Thursday. So we're, you know, this is just a seesaw. It's like our economy. It's like our economy. Hey, congratulations on your new website, Barb. Congratulations. I can't wait to look at it. Yuck. Yeah, that's what I hate, Kitty, is by the time we're done at home cleaning the walkways and everything, and then to go do it at different parts of work, even, you know, like a couple of my plazas they do really well with. At my warehouse, they do mostly okay. But then you still got to shovel, get, you know, a path to the dumpsters or other things that just aren't perfect. But in Naples, Jennifer does not have to shovel. Jennifer does not have to shovel her walkways in Naples. You know, under the palm trees, she will have none of that. There will be no shoveling under the palm trees. Good to have you here, Jennifer. Well, it's great to have everybody here tonight. I'm glad to hear all the good things. You know, I know it's tough right now. It's February, but, you know, we're getting all this at once, and we're going to move on to spring, people. We are going to move on to spring. I can feel it. You know, I had a good office day at the desk today, so I got cleared a lot of piles today, which is nice. My desk is neater than when it started today. All the sand that people track in from the beach. Oh, the horror, Jennifer, the horror. The things you people in Florida have to deal with. Yes, I'm glad. That is a nice part of condo living, that you don't have to shovel anything, Dell, and just pull out of your garage when you need to. I have a friend who you know, you can get, they make these mats for your walkway, so that you put down these mats in the winter, and anytime it snows or ice or anything, it just melts everything. They kick on automatically when they're wet, and it heats up and melts anything, and they look really cool. I mean, I haven't. I am sure they're ungodly expensive, but I have a friend that actually bought them for their dogs. Okay, so they have them so that their dogs go out in the winter. They have them out on their deck to making a path for their dogs, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, there was probably a time I would have done that for my dogs. There's probably a time where I would have done that, but they have those. Ugh. Yeah, I hate it when the guys show up late. They tend to show up at my warehouse after my ladies have already arrived because especially during COVID, they've been working all sorts of crazy schedules around their kids at my processing center, and inevitably but the drifts is what really kills you. We get the bad drifts at the house and my furniture store. Hey, Krita, great to have you here. Kelly in Albuquerque, great to have you here as well. It is great to have everybody here tonight on this Tuesday night. You frozen over there in Austin, Krita, as well? I mean, I know Texas is basically frozen. I mean, it's freaking crazy in Texas. I mean, the pictures I've seen of all these places that I know in Texas that are all covered in it is just nuts. It's just nuts. Not what Texans are used to dealing with. And Texans have the wrong kind of boots for snow. Cowboy boots aren't for snow. Oh, let's get this program started here with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. Tonight we're on page 156. Good morning. Don't get stuck in the comments section of life today. Make do. Create the thing. Let others tussle it out. Vamos! Oh, that was good. That was good. Our Good Morning, Good Night book is always a great way to start the program. What do I got for you tonight? The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Right? You, yes, I'm talking to you. You decide to be. Oh, I'm so sorry, Krita. That is awful. Awful. I am feeling your pain. I am sorry to hear that. That is not good. But I'm hoping that warmer weather's on the way. I haven't talked to my sister today. She's stuck in California. She hasn't been able to come home. She's stuck in California. It's a hard knock life. Every day she's stuck in California, and she's watching my great nephew. My nephew, her son, seems to be stuck in Napa. Okay, I don't know how it works, but for every time she gets an extension with her flight canceled to go home, he gets stuck in Napa at this resort for an extra day. I don't know how that happens. So, go figure. Let's see what's happening in the world. Lower income COVID-19 aid recipients seen boosting consumer spending. Consumer spending was up in January. Shocking because of all the stimulus. People were out spending money, according to the Commerce Department. Retail sales rose in January after 3 months of decline because of the stimulus spending by people. In the week after the Treasury Department began electronically sending stimulus payments, retail sales started jumping. So that is a good thing. It's also Adele, if you could only see the pictures of him at this resort, roughing it. He's roughing it at this resort in Napa. My nephew lives a very charmed life. A very charmed life. But my sister's enjoying being with her grandson too. So I understand her wanting to spend time with my great nephew, and everything's closed in Texas anyway, so no rush home. Consumer sentiment unexpectedly falls in February. Well, is that really a surprise? We don't have the stimulus money, and this is from Adele's alma mater. The University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Index fell. The index of current economic conditions also edged down. But the index of consumer expectations, a measure of what consumers expect in 6 months, dropped also, the weakest reading in 6 months. The report noted that when consumers were asked to assess their current financial positions, deep divisions become apparent among those with incomes in the bottom third. Just 23% reported improved finance, the lowest since 2014. In contrast, among those with incomes in the top third, 54% reported their finances had improved. Mentions of income gains fell to just 17% among those in the bottom third, compared with 44% in the top third. Again, this is all stuff that pushes on Congress and the White House to do more stimulus. Again, there is a big push on that. There's also pushback, but the bottom line is that money gets out into the economy. So when that money gets out into the economy, people spend it. It helps improve people's lives, and it's good for everybody. And so right now, more is better than less. More is better than less. And as I've been talking with several people the last few days, more is better than less. Let's just, if we're going to come out of this, and we're not by any stretch of the means out of this pandemic yet. You have to remember that we're in week 48, 49 right now of this, and it's nowhere near over. Originally, when some of the programs came out last year, they thought we were going to be out of it by last summer, and it's not a sure thing that we'll be out of it by this summer. So, vaccinations are picking up steam. There's a lot of good things happening, and there's a lot of good news on the horizon, but we are not there yet. We are a slow-moving train working our way out of this, okay? But there's good news in retail. Five Below is going to open 170 to 180 stores in 2021. And I know they're a discounter, but they call them an extreme value tween and teen chain, remains one of the few specialty retailers that hasn't pulled in the reins on brick and mortar growth. They currently operate 1,051 stores, and their sales for holiday 2020 jumped 21.1%. And store comp sales are up 10.1%. Oh, I screwed that up, Al. Sorry. I screwed that up. MSU. I'm sorry. I knew it was the Spartans. I knew the Spartans. But I don't know why I thought University of Michigan. Michigan State. Sorry. I definitely don't want to be accused of messing that up. I'm a high school Spartan. Does that get me off any? Off the bad list? Hey, Nebraska Angie, tuning in from Florida, where she isn't shoveling anything. Shovel. I know this will be shocking to you guys, but there are websites that are selling fake reviews in bulk to Amazon merchants. A report found one site offered 1,000 reviews for $11,000. Now, this is a violation of Amazon policy, of course. It's actually $10,950. And it can help you get your products a coveted Amazon Choice status within 2 weeks. Some of the sites are asking for free products in exchange, and others are. So your competitive, teams very well in your college. You know who's on which side. I'm very impressed, Adele. You can buy individual reviews for $18.25 or purchase them in bulk. And some were asking for products, some were asking for money, combinations of both to get the reviews. It's an interesting phenomenon, but not one that's a surprise. It's the same thing with businesses doing it on Facebook or any other review site and getting populated with them. The same as people paying to get competitors' negative reviews. So, I mean, there's a lot of that goes on. It's just Amazon is in a new light in a lot of areas right now. So that is just another site there. Walmart's got their COVID-19 vaccine rollout heading to small towns. Skowhegan, Maine, is an example of a small town of 8,000 people with taking appointments for the vaccine. And got right in. People are getting in and out. Walmart, the U.S. largest retailer and private employer, is set to become one of the biggest distributors of vaccine in the country, as well as CVS, Walgreens, Kroger, and grocers in all 50 states. The government is initially giving 1 million doses a week to directly to pharmacies. Around 200,000, so 20% of them are going to Walmart, of the 1 million a week that are going to Aldi's early investments are helping it take on Walmart and Kroger. Well, Aldi also has an ambitious slate of expansion this year that plans to open 100 more stores this year, growing significantly on the West Coast. They have more than 2,000 stores in the U.S., and it's on track to have more than 2,500 stores by the end of 2022. That would make it, at that point, the third largest grocer in the U.S. by store count, behind Kroger and Walmart. But Aldi is taking it a step further, and this is where it's interesting for you as a resale store owner. Aldi has been expanding its fresh food selection store in recent years in order to appeal to a more affluent shopper. And thanks to the commerce boom grocery experience last year, Aldi has been investing more in curbside pickup and order. But it's all a way of accommodating a more affluent shopper. So how can you get more affluent shoppers? What can you change in your product mix as you look at your store to get people to spend more? Okay, I mean, that is a key target market, is to get people to spend more. People that are already shopping with you, or to get new people in that are looking for a higher quality product. It's one of the things resale does really well. I've always said that resale is not about trading down or saving, it's about trading up. And trading up to better product, better clothing, better furniture, things that will last, that will stand the test of time, versus trading down because you can't afford new. This is about trading up. And, so as you look to 2021 and beyond, what can you be doing in your store to carry something that you don't normally carry? Maybe you're going to take advantage of the Marquee Mentor program, where they'll help you learn about and carry luxury designer handbags in your stores. I mean, there's all sorts of different ways to expand in your stores doing different things to cater to a changing demographic and to bring in a different demographic into your stores without throwing out your core current customer. So these ideas and different things that you can do are all with that mindset in mind. So that's what Aldi's trying to do. I mean, Aldi is really kind of brilliant. I always find it interesting when I go shopping in there. It's hard for me to shop there because I don't know where the peanut butter aisle is. They've got creamy or chunky or whatever. They've got 4 peanut butter. They don't have a whole aisle of peanut butter. They don't have a whole aisle of one item like you'd see in a traditional grocery store. So it's a different shopping experience. So you can't just glance down the aisle and say, oh, that's where that is. So I always end up walking the store a couple of times because I missed something on the list when I get sent there to do it. But continuing to bring in higher things to bring in a higher clientele is a smart move. We were talking just a little while ago. I mean, Krita was telling us how she's been closed since last Thursday. Walmart has closed 415 stores, and Amazon has shut down delivery stations as businesses confront tough weather. You know, and I'm looking at these pictures of Dallas here, and it's crazy. So I mean, and Walmart doesn't do that. And Walmart is about being open, and the store you can count on to be open. So the fact that they've actually closed that many stores, I mean, even when they have a natural disaster, a hurricane, a tornado comes through, I mean, the snow emergency is a disaster. I mean, their goal is to have their stores back online within 24 hours. And to have a store shuttered for multiple days is just un-Walmart in their core practices. I mean, I sat through a presentation on some of the crazy things they did to get stores back open after Hurricane Katrina. That was being presented by a Walmart executive one time. I mean, they have resources and amazing things. So I'm surprised that they're actually not out there with their own Walmart snow plows, plowing roads or something, plowing city streets or something to help out and get their stores back open, because it is crazy. You know, Kroger's closing its stores early and opening later. You know, and they're setting up. Oh, Rose, I'm right with you. I hate shopping. When I have to go into a Walmart, on the rare occasion that I do, it drives me nuts going into a Walmart personally. But there was a time in our life where we did shop there. There was a time, you know, I mean, when Cassandra and I first had our first play, we shopped at Walmart regularly, okay? And I remember there were times where we had multiple shopping carts at a Walmart. It was a different time in our life, that's for sure. I hated it when I had to go when I was taking care of my mother and stuff in upstate New York. It was always the easiest place to go to, but the biggest pain in the neck. I could get the most things on the list done in one stop, which was good. What else I got for you tonight? Amazon acquires Shopify competitor Sells. And this is going to get interesting. I think this is going to be interesting to see what investments Amazon makes in this. Sells is an Australian-based competitor to Shopify, and Shopify is a Canadian company at that. And so it'll be interesting to see how Amazon rebrands or what they do with Sells. Amazon is key in data services and web, Amazon Web Services and everything else is where they make all their money. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with Sells to compete in the U.S. And Canada at a greater level, and what tools they make available to try to lure people away, and developers and everything else. There's a lot of developers in North America that are all in on Shopify. So it'll be interesting to see what they do in this partnership, well, not partnership, as they get taken over by Amazon, and what that means. So that'll be something to keep an eye on with our software providers, and see if they make a quantum leap in providing better services to you as a in the future. So that is that is the future being written, okay? You know, Amazon is making a strategic investment in that. So that is the future being written. This is interesting, okay? And this is something we know, although it is not hitting all parts of the South equally. Retailers are trading Fifth Avenue for Worth Avenue as Palm Beach scene thrives with Americans heading south. Retailers, restaurants, and other business owners are opening up around Palm Beach, Florida, eyeing tax and lifestyle perks as more people look to call South Florida home during the COVID pandemic and beyond. Retail rents have been rising steadily in Palm Beach, a sign that demand for space is picking up and supply is more constrained than in places like New York City. And it's quite a matter of businesses are moving where the people are, and people are heading to South Florida in droves. You know, whether their retreat to South Florida is temporary or permanent, time will tell. You know, but everybody, all the big guys are all opening stuff down there. West Elm Furniture, Urban Outfitters, Restoration Hardware, Soul Cycles, doing an outdoor pop-up spin class, are filling up with out-of-towners. All sorts of things. People out there are moving to Arizona. Yeah, I know some people that have moved to Arizona too. So, but you know, and it's driving the rents up. It's driving, you know, I mean, you know, while New York City rents are falling, Palm Beach rents are headed up. I mean, it is a supply and demand issue, plain and simple. I don't know that everybody will stay south permanently, you know, or these migrations. You know, there's a lot of talk on these migrations, even up here, where people have fled Boston for New Hampshire and such during this and bought homes. You know, I don't know how that's going to work out in the long term. You know, the people that like city living like the hustle and bustle, and a lot of these other places are not. It's not the same hustle and bustle. That's all I'm saying. And so it'll be interesting to watch real estate trends in the coming years on this, because we've seen it. Connecticut seen an influx of people from people moving from New York City. New Hampshire has seen it from Boston. So as people have fled areas that are close, people are looking for more land and houses that are more spread out and things. Whether that'll hold up or not and such, time will tell. According to a small business owner survey, while some large corporations are paying employees to get a COVID-19 vaccine shot, including Target, McDonald's, and Kroger, and United Airlines has said that they want all 60,000 of the company's workers to be vaccinated, and that other companies should issue a similar mandate. But on Main Street, especially outside the restaurant and hospitality sector, few business owners plan to require workers to get vaccinated, according to the latest CNBC Small Business Survey. Barely more than 1 in 5 small business owners, 22%, will require their employees to get COVID-19 vaccines when they become available. Twice as many, 42%, so say they won't mandate vaccinations. Okay? Whether to require workers to be vaccinated as soon as possible has become a controversial topic in the business community. With little guidance coming from the federal government, business leaders have been left to make the decisions on their own. Some business owners view vaccinations as the key to a full reopening. Some companies are even offering incentives to workers who get inoculated, while others want to avoid overstepping their bounds. The new survey, conducted January 25th to 31st, among small business owners nationwide, and and reveals a particular hesitancy among the small business community who have already spent the last year struggling to adapt as the pandemic rolls on. More than 4 in 10 small business owners say they've had to shut down operations, including 20% who say they have since reopened at limited capacity, 10% who say they still have not reopened, and even 4% who say they shut down, reopened, and then shut down again. Barely more than half of the small business owners say they could continue operating for more than a year under the current business conditions. For these small business owners, widespread vaccine adoption may be the key to a full reopening. Restaurants and hospitality are the most likely to mandate vaccinations. Restaurants, bars, casinos, B&Bs, caterers, but there isn't widespread enthusiasm even among this group. Yeah, Kelly, part of it is laying out a plan to get the vaccine, but there is so much, so many strong feelings on this, on whichever side you are on it. I'm feeling pretty educated on it, and I've read a lot, and the development of the vaccines. This wasn't a starting from zero standpoint. They have a lot of good data on it. I think we're better with the vaccine than without the vaccine. But, I have employees who I know won't ever get a flu shot. They don't believe in any vaccines. And so they're not getting this not because of COVID or because of how quickly it was rolled out or anything political. They just don't get any of them. But then they talked about, their father's getting it, and stuff, is signed up to get it. So it is very, very tough. I can't see mandating it, whether any incentives given or not, like other retailers. I'm not there with that yet. But I do believe in the vaccine. Nana's gotten vaccinated. My sister's gotten vaccinated. My brother-in-law, my brother, so I've got several family members that have already. And the supply issue is going to take care of itself. I truly believe we're going to have ample supply. I actually think we're going to have an overabundance of supply because the supply is based on getting most every adult in the country vaccinated, and there's going to be a huge, I think we're going to fall short of that. I think we're going to fall short of it. And, I don't know where that leaves us, in this. I don't know whether that leaves us back to, a full new normal, and full restrictions getting dropped in states, or if things won't be good enough to allow that. I don't have any concept of where that leaves us. If only 200 million Americans get the vaccine instead of 300 million that they're planning on, I'm not sure where that leaves us. Yeah, there's a lot of states that aren't doing a great job with the vaccine rollout. I am seeing some better in the various states that I have direct things with. I'm seeing more positive things now that the pharmacies are getting involved in it because it's easier than the state or the mass vaccination sites and some of the other things. People feel more comfortable going into their local pharmacy to get it done, and the appointments are easier to get, and it's less of a big deal. So I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic on the whole vaccine front. I really am. But I'm with the idea of mandating it. I'm not there. I don't, I understand why United Airlines wants every employee to get it, okay, because that's, they want to be the airline that says 100% of our employees got vaccinated. I get it because they want to be the safe airline. They want to advertise they're safe. I mean, it's not going to happen. And they're not going to have 100% of their employees vaccinated. I understand in the restaurant and hospitality industry, you know, how so many of them have, you know, it's been unbelievable trying to keep a restaurant open during this. I mean, it's hard keeping a retail store open. It's really hard keeping a restaurant open, especially to be able to open back up with indoor dining and everything else. You know, but I don't see that, you know, even if you had all your staff vaccinated, that isn't going to necessarily keep you open. If you had people dying and then somebody got sick, I don't know. It's incredibly confusing. It's incredibly difficult. Part of the COVID relief bill is going to be something specific for the restaurant industry. Chuck Schumer was talking about the Restaurant Act and making that part of the new COVID relief bill, where restaurants, in addition to their PPPs, could get additional money, up to $5 million a restaurant for small business restaurants. There's a lot to it. There's just a lot to all these businesses and to getting back to normal in this country. So that's why I don't put all my hopes on that by this summer everything will be back to normal, or by this fall. You know, I keep on working on a farther out date in my mind. If everything's back to normal this summer or this fall, that's great. Okay, but I keep this date much further out in my mind because that way I'm not disappointed in it. And, you know, we all stretch for that back to normal. And I want everybody that wants to get vaccinated to be able to get vaccinated. So, and I want people to have that easy. So we'll keep an eye on that and keep an eye on the politics of that too. But more vaccine is flowing, and that's a good thing. That is a very good thing. You know, this video and everything that I talk about here, this video and everything that I talk about goes over to narts.org/resalestrong by noon the very next day. Noon, I tell you. It's all over there. narts.org/resalestrong. The videos, all the files, everything, including a direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when a new one drops. You can also share it with all your friends. Butcher, baker, candlestick maker. We want to help everybody get to the other side of this. Yes, we do. I am here every night at More 8 Than Ish live in the Narts private Facebook group. But if you have a question in between, you just email me, Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is where we start this program every night. Tonight, we're on page 156 if you missed our Good Morning. Good morning. Do not get stuck in the comment section of life today. Make do. Create things. Yes, create things. Let others tussle it out. Vamos. Our good night tonight is good night. Don't let the world's clickbait pull you off your path. Unplug. I've been telling you about that. Explore. Dream new terrain. The world keeps spinning. Au revoir. There you go, folks. There is your graphics tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson, and I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah maybe. We will party again, and we will be in person again, and when we do, I will be there with you. But until tomorrow night at More 8 Than Ish, know that you, and you, but most importantly you, yes you, you're not alone running this store. It's time for dessert. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody.